Hey, welcome back guys. Colton with another STEM lesson, and today we're going to be making a Cartesian diver, and we're going to be talking more about fluid dynamics. Sounds kind of crazy, but it's not too bad. Let me show you what you need to get started. The simple step to start is taking a plastic 2-liter bottle and filling it to the brim with water. You want to make sure that it's plastic because you're going to be squeezing it in this experiment. So a metal, something that you cannot actually physically squeeze, is going to be no good for this. What is optional is I added some food coloring to the water. That's so you guys can see the Cartesian diver better. I don't think that you would need it at home for the experiment because you'll be where I am and you'll be able to see it clearly. It's just through a camera it's a little difficult. But let's go into the actual Cartesian diver. So for mine, I took a pipette with some bearings at the bottom to distribute weight, and I secured them with some electrical tape above and below. Now, you don't need that if you use an eyedropper at home. There should be enough weight distribution there for it to be neutrally buoyant. And when I say neutrally buoyant, I mean that when you place it in water, it'll float about halfway in your body of water. So it won't rise to the top and it won't go straight to the bottom. That's what you're looking for ideally. Mine's going to float a little bit more to the top because it's more buoyant, but it will still work with the experiment. So don't try to find that neutrally buoyant sweet spot. You don't really need it as long as when you squeeze the bottle, you're able to see your Cartesian diver go up and down. With your eyedropper, or in my case pipette, you're going to take a little bit of water and then you're going to insert into your 2-liter bottle. Now make sure to fasten this tightly because, as I said before, you're going to be squeezing it and you're going to spill water everywhere if it's not secure. So you see mine's naturally risen to the top. As I said, it's pretty buoyant. I had to pull out all the stops on this. But if I take my hand and I start to squeeze, it sinks to the bottom. So, why is that? As I squeeze on the bottle, I'm in fact compressing all of the air that's left inside of the bottle. Even though I tried to fill it to the brim with water, there's always going to be excess air that's inside. But as I squeeze, I'm compressing it, which causes the density of our Cartesian diver to increase and sink to the bottom. So this is something we like to call Archimedes' principle. And Archimedes' principle states that an object, when immersed in a fluid, once its density is higher than the density of the fluid that it's in this case water, it sinks to the bottom. That's why, if you notice at the bottom, I have a solid object that I put in here beforehand. You can imagine as soon as I put it in there, it sunk straight to the bottom. And that's because its density is already naturally higher than the water. Thus, there's no way for it to come back up with buoyant force. And that's a Cartesian diver. I find it pretty interesting, especially messing around with the fluid dynamics. I hope you guys too. And if you are interested, I've got some links in the description, and I'll have a link right here that you guys can go to find out more about the Archimedes principle and water pressure. As for my question of the day, submarines use Archimedes' principle a lot in how they sink and float. So, using what I've taught today and the articles below, hopefully, how do they sink and float? I'll give you a little hint. It might be nice to Google the word ballast. But I appreciate you guys sticking around for another STEM video. We've got some more coming soon. I hope you like them.